So today we have come up with a topic which is called nomenclature of cams. So what are the different contours on the cam called? Okay, that is what we are going to learn today. So like in previous videos, we have discussed about the basic cams and followers. So now we are going to discuss the nomenclature of the cam. Okay, so this is the cam which I'm going to draw right now. Okay guys, so this is our cam, and let's say that let's make the circle first. I draw a dotted circle because it's not there actually, right? So this is not present right now. This is just a dotted line which I'm doing. Okay, the actual figure is this one which you see in the yellow thing. That is the actual figure. And then you have the cam center, right? Center about which the cam is rotating. So this is the cam center, which will be the circle center itself. And then you will have a follower, which is, for now I am taking the follower as a roller follower. Let's take an example of a roller follower. And if you observe carefully, I'm actually not drawing it on the same line of the shaft of the cam. I'm changing, and for our convenience I will draw a little bigger roller follower. Okay, yes, and we'll take the roller follower over here. Fine. And the roller follower also has a center, right? So this is the center of the roller follower. And then you even have it actually translating, right? Roller follower is translating up and down as the cam is rotating. And then you have the fixed portion, which is, this is the fixed link. Fine. Yes, all the fixed link will draw with the same color to avoid any confusion. So I'm going to do, this is also a fixed link, right? So here also I'm going to do in terms of white. And inside the fixed link, there is a shaft. The shaft should be yellow because the shaft is fixed along with the cam itself. The shaft is fixed along with the cam itself. And then there might be some bearings, and then there is the frame. Okay. So now in this diagram, we need, this is a radial cam. Okay. Radial cam means a disc type, a radial or a disc type cam, or I can even say it is a disc cam. Okay. So now what are the different parts called as? So the first point of interest is, for the rotation of cam will rotate, right? So I'm assuming that the cam is rotating anti-clockwise with an angle theta. Okay, with an angular velocity omega. The cam will rotate anti-clockwise, and then the follower is tracing a path, right? The follower is actually translating up and down. Fine. So follower is having a translation motion, which is this way, right? So I'm saying this is the follower motion. Now, how should we identify the motion of the follower? See, as we all know, any point on a translating link can show the actual motion. Any point on the translating link. It means if even if I take this point, it will show the motion of the follower, right? I can take this point, I can take this point, I can take any point, I can take even this point, I can take any point I want to know the actual distance traveled by the follower. Take any point and follow that point. Like when the cam is rotating to the highest point, mark that point. Maybe the cam rotated to the highest point, it means this tip is in contact with the roller. Whenever this tip is contact with this tip, then the cam is going up, right? Suppose I am observing this point itself, so it is going to go up to a certain height, right, when it rotates here. And then when the follower means this roller, when it meets the lowest point, then again it is going to come down, right? That same point, the same point, again it's going to come down. Maybe it came till here. So this will trace the complete motion of your follower, right from the topmost position to the least position. So what is trace point? I will just write it down for your convenience, and then we can mark it. Okay, you yourself will tell me what is trace point right now. Fine, after listening to the definition. So that's what I am expecting. So the first thing we are discussing about is trace point. So what is trace point? So trace point is the roller center itself. Usually we are going to take the roller center as your trace point. Fine. So the roller center. Why roller center this point? Because it's more convenient for me to check what at what distance it's going, what distance or how much distance will the follower travel. Okay. So roller center is also taken for the this type of followers, and also I will give you an example of an oscillating follower. So this is the fixed portion, and this is your roller follower. Oscillating cams also we have discussed, followers we have discussed, right, in the previous videos. So this is the cam surface, fine, and this is the center. So now for this point, the trace point is again the roller center. And how will it trace? How will it look? See, so the trace point will have this type of motion, right? See, yes, it will go up and oscillate down. So this point is the trace point. Here, this point is the trace point. So I'm going to show clearly by using an arrow indication. So which is trace point? See, this roller center is a trace point. Fine. Okay, it'll become more clumsy. So roller center, let's name it. Simply we'll name it. So let's name the roller center to be as A. Okay, so roller center A. And next point is, we even have a flat face follower, right? So for a flat face follower, what are we going to take as a trace point? So that is very important for us. So for a flat face, let's construct a flat face. I'll just draw a rough image of a flat face. So this is a flat face follower, and it is between the guides. And then for instance, this is the surface in contact. This is the cam. Okay, let me draw it further in a proper sense. Okay, let's say that this is your cam. Fine. And this is the center, right? So now, wherever the axis of the follower, this is the axis of follower motion, right? See this one. This one is the axis of the follower motion. Fine. Wherever it intersects the point, intersects your cam. So where is it intersecting? For example, I draw the axis. It is intersecting here, right? So this point you will assume as your trace point. Means this axis, wherever it touches the cam, that is your trace point. So trace point will always be vertical. Okay. So for example, this is the lowest point. So this point will be your trace point whenever it touches the cam. Okay. So this point, you can follow that point and you can call it as trace point for flat face. So all the three cases we have discussed. And then we are going to go into the meaning of what is a base circle. Fine, base circle is really important. So number 2 is base circle. So base circle is the smallest circle. I'll just write it down for you. Smallest circle. Smallest circle with center at the cam shaft axis. Shaft axis and tangential to the cam profile. So what is cam profile? Cam profile is this cam outer surface itself is the cam profile. Okay. So this one, this cam outer surface is your cam profile. Okay. That is your cam profile. So the smallest circle with camshaft axis center. Okay. Where is camshaft axis as center? See, this is camshaft axis as center, right? This is the camshaft and smallest circle, and it should be tangent to the cam profile. Means I think this circle with the radius will be your base circle, right? Which is equal to this, which is equal to this. So this is your base circle radius. It is the smallest circle which can be drawn with cam shaft axis as center and tangent to cam profile. I think both the conditions are satisfied. So first condition is what? First condition, it should be cam shaft axis, right? Should be the center, and it should be smallest circle, and then it should be tangential to cam profile. All these three conditions are satisfied. Only then you can call it as base circle. Okay, let's mark it and give it a name also. So the base circle is called RB. Okay, so this is your base circle. I can show it anywhere. Fine, we can show it anywhere here, and we can call it R and B. Okay, that is base circle radius. So RB is base circle radius. And now the next point we'll come to is the pitch curve. Okay, what is a pitch curve? The third point, pitch curve. So what is a pitch curve? So you can draw uh, here. Actually what is happening is cam is rotating and follower is having a sliding motion, right? So cam is rotating anti-clockwise and slider is having a slider or follower is actually sliding, right? So it is having the motion in the up and down motion, right? So now let's number all the links. Number 1, number 2, number 3 is the roller, and number 4 is the link which is connected, number 1. So now actually link 1 is fixed, right? Now we'll make a kinematic inversion. I think in the first chapter you have learned what is a kinematic inversion, right? If you fix any other link, then the motion will be different. Okay, so I'm going to fix the link 2 now. It means actually the cam is rotating, link 2 is rotating and follower is following. Now we are going to fix link 2 and imagine that the follower is going round. So now see, for example, this is the cam's position, right? When the cam, if the cam rotates anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, which may be the next position of contact, it may be this position or this position or this position, anything, right? So the motion will continue in this manner, right? So now if I do the inversion, even now I give you a condition that the follower should travel in this path. Now if the cam is rotating anti-clockwise, okay, the follower is actually touching the next point here. Now if I fix the cam, where should the follower touch? How should the follower rotate? You imagine that the follower is rotating. Can it rotate anti-clockwise? You hold the follower and rotate anti-clockwise. The next point touching is this, not this. So if it needs to touch this point, the follower has to rotate clockwise. So that's why I'm making a statement clearly and boldly right now that I'm going to write it. See, locus of the roller center after kinematic inversion with cam fixed. Okay, by fixing the cam you get a new kinematic inversion, and you have the locus of the roller center. It means the locus of the trace point. How will you have it? Just see, it will be parallel to cam profile. Okay, this is rotating clockwise, right? Yes, imagine it rotating clockwise. Yes, so this is your pitch curve. What is your pitch curve? So this is your pitch curve. Pitch curve. And then we have yet another one. What is it? The another topic is your prime circle. I hope pitch curve is clear, right? Next one is fourth point. Let's take the fourth point as prime circle. First you had a circle. What is it? Base circle. Now you have prime circle. So prime circle is like, see, for cam profile you have base circle, right? So guys, this is cam profile. See this yellow one, cam profile. The original yellow one is cam profile. So for cam profile you have base circle, right? Similarly for pitch curve you have prime circle. Okay, I'll just write down that point over here. So prime circle is like pitch base circle, as we have base circle to cam profile. Similarly, we have prime circle to pitch curve. Yes. So where is pitch curve? This white color line which you have drawn is pitch curve. So you will have the same definition: smallest circle with center at the camshaft axis and tangential to the pitch curve. So tangential to the pitch curve means, so you'll have, see, yes, a parallel circle, right? A circle which is parallel to the base circle. Yes, this is the prime circle, and the radius of prime circle is called RP. Okay, the radius of prime circle is RP. Let me label it. It is the smallest circle, and tangential means it will be here itself. And this is your RP. Yes. So RP. Okay. And now the next thing is, I can write a relation right now. What's the relation? If you see, if roller radius is there, RR. Okay, if roller radius is RR, let's even show the roller radius now with some other ink. Yes, see, this is the roller, right? So roller has a radius. Okay, drawing the arrow is being very difficult here because it's very small circle, right? Let's say that this is your roller circle radius. Okay, so I'm going to indicate it right now using RR. Let's say that this is R, capital R. So roller radius. Roller radius. Now, can anyone tell me the relation between roller radius, prime circle radius, and base circle radius? Yes, we can do it, right? So we can do it. How can we do it? We can do it in this way. The total radius of prime circle is, see, this is the total radius of prime circle, right? So it is the combination of, from here to here. What is it? From, see, from this point to this point. What is this? What is this length? This is the RB, right? And the total is RP. So RP will be RB plus, what is the middle one? Middle one is actually this length, right? The radius of roller. Look at it carefully, you'll understand it. I'm going to write the equation right away. Fine. So the equation will go such that prime circle radius is equal to base circle radius plus roller radius. So this is the very important equation when it comes into solving of problems. Okay, and then after this we need to discuss one more topic, which is the final topic for today, for this video, and the topic is about the pressure angle, which is very important. Okay, so let's continue with the pressure angle. I have to draw the cam again. Please wait for a moment. So see, this is your cam. This is your base circle, right? Base circle of the cam. Now we'll talk technically. And then you have complete cam profile. I'm drawing. Yeah, this is your complete cam profile. And we have to just shade off this base circle, right? Because actually here there is no material. Here there is no material. Here there is no material. Only material is in the outer surface on the cam profile. And then we even had a roller follower, right? So we'll mention the roller follower. Yes, so this is the roller follower, and we even had an offset, guys. Actually it was not inline roller follower. I'll just explain what I'm meaning. Fine, so don't be confused. I'll just explain. This is the roller center and this is the follower, and then we are going to have the fixed places, right? Fixed support. Let's say this is your fixed portion. Guides, these guides are used to guide the follower properly. This is the fixed portion, and even you have the center of the cam. Fine, okay, it's looking more of not center, right? So this looks almost like a center, right? Yes, so center. So now before anything, we'll just discuss about what is pressure angle. So now you need to have a common, you need to know where the common normal at the point of contact is. What is the meaning of common normal at the point of contact? So see, I'll write something over here. We need to know where, how, or I can say how the force is being transferred from cam to follower. Okay, this is the statement. So how the force, see, without force the follower won't go up, right? Yes, it won't move up or down without force. So this is rotating anti-clockwise and the follower is going up. How is it possible? It is possible in which direction, that is more importantly we need to know. So I am going to show you the direction. So just look at this. First draw a tangent to both the curves. Okay, so this is the common tangent. Once you draw a tangent, is it difficult to draw normal? No, right? So it is perpendicular to tangent, right? Normal is perpendicular to tangent. So then we are going to draw a normal, which is, normal usually passes whenever there is a circle, it passes through the center of the circle. So this is the normal, and we have a name for that normal. It is common normal at the point of contact. It is a common normal at the point of contact. Okay, this is the point of contact. It is normal to both the curves. Suppose you have a curve over here, right? On even the cam surface you have a curve. So to that curve also there is some center. Actually there is, the mid center is not mentioned here, but there is some center. So between those two centers only the common normal will pass. Okay, the common normal is passing between those two centers only. Fine. So the line connecting both the centers. So this is the common normal, and along this only you have the force transmitted. Fine. The force is transmitted along this line only. Fine. So this is the transmission of force line. So now if the transmission of force line, and which is the motion, what is representing the motion, the direction, this red one up and down, right? So this red one up and down is representing the motion of the follower. So that also will represent here. This is the motion of the follower, representation of motion of the follower upwards. So the angle between these both is called pressure angle. The angle between these both is called pressure angle, which is phi. Okay. So what is pressure angle? We'll just write it down. Pressure angle phi. Okay. So angle between common normal at the point of contact and follower motion. Fine. Now actually, what is the force? What is the force? This is the force, right? Actual force, normal force. What is the force which is acting along the motion? That force only is responsible for the motion, right? See, whatever force is acting along the motion is only responsible for the motion, right? So what is the force along the motion? So we can say that force along the motion, okay, or force helping in generation of motion is Fn cos phi, right? It is the cos component of this Fn. The force Fn, whatever is being applied by the cam, okay, that is the original force, which is the resultant force. It has two components. One of the component is along and another component is in this direction, okay, which is in the perpendicular direction. One is upwards, one is horizontal. Fine. So this component of Fn is responsible for the cam follower to move up. Okay, and this force which you can see, this is responsible to tilt. See, you actually have this tilt of the follower. You actually have, I'm showing it magnifyingly. So this is the fixed centers. Okay, and this is the roll follower, and this is the tilt. Okay, you will have a tilt, right? So I showed you the opposite direction actually. Okay, you will have the tilt in which direction? So this might be the direction, because the force is in this direction, right? Force, and you'll have, this is your, yes, fixed point. So this tilt should be very less, right? Should the cam force, the force applied by cam, bend the follower? No, The desirable motion is up. So we keep the phi in some limits. So when is the cos phi value minimum and maximum? That's what we want to know. When is the cos value minimum? When is it maximum? Okay. So based on that, you will have the component, right? So when can you get the proper value? Think about it. So based on our cos values, we know that cos 0 degrees is 1, right? It is maximum value, maximum of cos. And cos 90 degrees is 0, right? So this is minimum value. So do you want the force along the motion minimum or maximum? Along the motion, we want maximum. So you can have the cos angle between 0 degrees and 30. 30 is the maximum. It should not cross 30. If it crosses 30, then automatically you will have horizontal component more and vertical component less. And if horizontal component is more, then you will have what? The tilting of this, and more force is applied, and it's wastage. A lot of force is being wasted, right? Actually we want force upwards. So to maximize the force upwards, keep phi as minimum as possible. Okay, phi should be between 0 degrees and 30 degrees for your followers which are translating up and down. And you have a word called offset. Guys, this pressure angle is over now. I think pressure angle is clearly understood. We have another terminology called offset. So what is offset is what I want to explain right now. So offset is, suppose you take the center, see this is the center, right, shaft, like the axis, and then you take the follower roller center. Okay, so actually they are not on the same line, they are on different lines. See, so this is called as offset. Fine, I hope that it was not difficult to understand what offset is, right? So this is called your offset. Okay, I'm not able to show here, hold on, let me draw it. Okay, so this distance, what you see, this is called offset, and it's labeled as E, which is offset. Okay, so if it is inline, there is no offset. Inline means the follower center as well as the shaft center are on the same line. Okay, they are having the same line. If you join those both, they are a straight vertical line, then it is a offset is 0, E equal to 0. But now in this case there is some offset which is called as E. So this is offset of the cam follower setup. Okay, I hope all the nomenclature basics are understood now. There is no doubt at all. Okay guys, thank you, hope to see you in the next video.